Okay. And then the chairs times 20, how much is it? $20 per each, 50. So 20 times 50 is 1,000. And then the coffee tables, the same, $10. So we have 1,000 as well. How much is it times coffee tables? How many coffee tables? 40. We have 400. And then artistic sculptures. How much is it? How much do we have for the artistic sculptures? It's 500 a month, right? So units, we have 100 pieces. Already said $500 a month. Okay, so we have that done. So total cost for this part is, how much is it? 2,000, 2,900. Okay, good. Okay, let's go to the next part. Then, shop manager. What is the monthly salary of the shop manager? I put down $15,000, right? And then the sales associate, 10,000. And then the rent, how much is the rent? Can you guys calculate? 30,000 per month, but it's only 10% of the market price. How much are they supposed to pay? $3,000 for the rent, right? And then material. What kind of material did we write down? Cleaning and collecting, that's not material. Any material expenditure? Purchasing craft, right? So how much is that? 1,000 a month, is it? So maintenance, any maintenance cost? Washing, is that maintenance? Is washing maintenance? So how much is it? 200 a month? And what else do we have? Utilities, how much is utilities? 300 a month. And then total fixed cost, how much do we have for total fixed cost? 300 plus 200 plus 1,000 plus 3,000, 4,500. 4,500, 29,500. Good. Okay. Then part-time sales. How many days does the part-time sales come? Can you guys calculate? It operates 7 days a week. The part-time sales comes 4 hours every day during the weekends. Weekends, 4 hours. So 2 days in the weekends. So the part-time sales comes, the cost per hour is 40. The number of hours per day is how many? 8. But then there are how many weekends in a month? We can assume there are 4 weekends in a month. How many days? 8, right? 4 times. So 8 hours per day. 4 hours per day. Wrong. 4 hours per day. 8 hours a week. So 8 times 4 is 32, right? And then how much is the salary? Cost per hour is 30. How much is the salary? Can anyone calculate? 960. So, total expenditure. Total cost of goods expenditure. How much is it? How much is the total cost of goods? This plus this plus this, how much is it? 29,000 plus how much do we have? Anyone? 360. Okay, good. So, what is the total income? Where does the total income come from? How much is the total income? How much is the total income? $140 a month, okay? So can you run this business? Can you run this business? You can, but at risk, right? Think about it. $140 left over every month. Isn't that quite sad? So when you project your business plan, the purpose of the budget is to actually, I'm not an expert in calculation, definitely, but I want you guys to know that to calculate the budget, to have the budget plan in your proposal, it's not a must, but you should. That way you can project whether or not you can run the business, and also they can assume where does all the cost come from. How can you generate income to support all these costs, okay? So ensure that you know how much you need to run the business, okay? So include that in the appendix so that you have some support for this part. Okay, so what time is it? 3:30. Should I give you guys a break? Are you guys tired? Break, 5 minutes. We'll come back in 5 minutes, okay? So let's talk a little bit about presentation, the second part, presentation. So presentation, there are 5 parts we are going to talk about. There is going to be a presentation activity. So later we'll talk about the activity. So we'll go on into the presentation first. We'll talk about preparation for the presentation, the visual aids, the handouts, the notes, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, asking and responding to questions, okay? There would be 5 parts to it. So there would be 5 parts to it. What should we prepare? The preparation for presentation, context for preparation. There should be the audience and the time and the facilities that you have to be concerned about. So who are your audience? Audience, they have their unique language of interest, knowledge, skills, priorities, personalities, and dynamics. Each of them have their own preference. When you're looking into audience, you pay attention. Are these audience, or who are these audience? Do you know the judges? Do you know the backgrounds? You can learn a little bit about their information online as well, so to know what things would they be looking into, because it would help you and assist you to explain to them when you're doing the presentation, and also it would assist you to actually think about what kind of questions would they come up with. Remember, the listeners, like your proposal readers, you're supposed to ensure that they understand, they feel comfortable, and also you are supposed to answer what they need. So pay attention to that. Understand their dynamics to speak in a manner that they'll be able to relate to and appreciate. So what are some of the things you have to pay attention to when you go and do your research before your presentation day. Interests. What are their interests? Areas of information they want to absorb. When you look at it at this time, it's a social enterprise challenge, so you're looking into, obviously they have questions that are related to how you run your business, how do you generate your business. So the first and major goal, of course, is to see whether your business can generate and what can you help, have you fulfilled your mission. It concerns about protecting their existing advantages and benefits. Okay, are they concerned about existing advantages and benefits of the society? Would it actually continue? Any knowledge in the aspect. You can look at what field they study. Are they familiar to the subject, okay? If they're familiar to a subject, most probably the questions they raise would be more specific. If they are not familiar, it would be quite general, depending on their understanding. But as I heard, all of the judges are already in knowledge of the aspect, and they're educated and trained to ask questions, so pay attention to that. Keep level of detail and complexity high enough to challenge, but low enough within reach. By means, they would be able to understand, but at the same time, it would be something refreshing for them. Remember this. Priorities. What are your priorities? Reasons for your presentation. Hot buttons, motivators, priorities. So focus on the main points as they have read your proposal. So the details, the data, maybe how can you present them in an easier way to understand. As I said previously, charts, tables, pie charts, graphs can help and assist you. Dynamics. Characteristic patterns of behavior of every group. Who is in charge and who is not? You should have a team leader or someone to start off the presentation, okay? So think about the roles in the group. Not every person should have a role in the group, and don't just allocate the work to one person. If you allocate the work to just one person, that person cannot take so much burden. So if the person is a presenter, if he starts talking, if he's a leading person, maybe in answering questions, you have to think about who helps to answering the question, or prepare it together, work on it together. Each person in the group should take part. Who is creative and who is less? The person who's creative, maybe they can be involved in adjusting the presentation or the method of presentation. You can think about what kind of methods can you come up with in presentation. Besides the PPT, of course the PPT is essential, but on top of that, how can you make it more interesting? Because presentation, you have written a proposal, but on top of that, the presentation is a part where the marks are given as well, okay? It actually affects the judges' feelings because they haven't met you guys in person. So when they do meet you guys in person, they can feel whether you're committed, they can feel whether you're knowledgeable in that aspect. If you are unable to answer questions, then the questions that they throw at you, then there would be a problem, okay? So culture, where they adopt values, attitudes, and behavior. Where does all this come from? Their values, their attitudes, their behavior to it. Are they accepting? Do they understand? What age range are they? Which sex are they? The gender you have to look at as well. So their attitude, the behavior can affect their judgment. Look into that. Personality. Can they accept new information and ideas? Depends. Of course, most judges, I believe, would be able to accept new ideas. However, you have to, new information and ideas, you have to support yourself as well. With sufficient support, it's more persuasive. Who do they respect, listen to, and agree with? Your support, factual support. factual support is one of the things you might want to look into as well. So the people involved, like who can you use as support? Someone persuasive, someone interesting, someone that is known by everyone. Don't talk about someone that is unknown, talk about someone that they know. Shape your presentation to gain the highest possible levels of approval and acceptance. Time management. Another thing to talk about is time management. It has to be depending on how much time you have. You guys, according to my understanding, 15 minutes of presentation time, 20 minutes of Q&A. So 15 minutes, why is it 15 minutes? 15 minutes is the only focus, like the amount of time a person can actually focus really intensively. So 15 minutes is just right. However, after the 15 minutes, a lot of questions arise. So these questions, you guys should be able to answer. No more than 1 hour of sitting time, you guys don't know. No more than 15 minutes in a row requiring high concentration. Mark your agenda by segments. So the rundown by means. You can talk about the rundown. Deliver first segment. Offer a brief question and answer period if necessary. But I suggest, knowing that it is 15 minutes presentation time, you should only focus on presenting. The Q&A will come right after in the 20-minute session. So you should have enough time for people to throw you questions and answer them. Okay, provide moments when to relax, regroup, reflect. So after presentation, maybe you leave your audience some time, like maybe a pause, or present them with something humorous, and then they can relax for one moment and then come up with questions that are more nice to you guys, more lenient, okay? Think about that. Another thing, you can also pass around pre-printed handouts, talk about background material, set the stage from your next point of view. So when you're talking to the audience, maybe another thing later we'll talk about is handouts. Although they have your proposals in hand, but knowing how long your proposals are, when they read it, they will think it would be too long to actually go through it during the presentation. Then you can actually think, what else can I present? What else can I give them for them to actually make use of during the presentation? So this shows your care and understanding for the audience as well. When we talk about facilities, another thing to talk about is facilities. The folders and binding is a better impression if you guys fold and bind your documents. It's better if you bind the pages together, it's better, I believe. Wall boards or paper tablets, well, these facilities I doubt you guys will be using since you guys have the PPT. Unless you guys have a poster, then that is another thing. If you guys have something to support yourself. Microphones. It is, you guys will be, you'll have the chance to choose whether to use a microphone. So depending if your voice is enough, if they are sitting up front, I believe a microphone is unnecessary. If they're sitting a bit further away, then you need a microphone. So the laser pointer, this is what I'm using right now. It helps to incorporate and tell people where you're talking about, but at the same time, even I have this problem, I fiddle with the laser pointer. This is not good, okay? Video, motion picture projectors, or videos, or slides, multimedia projectors, depending on what you need, have them assist you. If you guys have video clips, make it short. It's a 15-minute presentation. So if you include a video clip, please make it short. Number 7, PowerPoint. You are at the center of stage in front of the room. Remember this. Do not, just now I saw people presenting. Do not stand in front of what you are presenting. You would be blocking the audience's way. Often, if you want them to pay attention to you, you set yourself as center stage. If you want them to pay attention to the notes, to the PPT, you set the notes and PPT in the center stage. Depending on where the focus point is, put yourself and your materials in different location. The podium I'm not sure if you will be having a podium, but you will be having a stand for sure to talk. So turn a little bit left if you're right-handed, okay? Turn a little bit left, face this way. Chalkboard or projector, if you need explanation, you need to have a projector, a blackboard, a whiteboard. The structure, the content. Let's talk about the structure and content. There should be an introduction and background, problem statement, data analysis, solution statement, the benefits, summary, and motivational elements, okay? Motivational elements means why do you want them to move, okay? Later we'll talk about that. Problem statement, what are you trying to resolve? Unlike normal presentations, we have a problem to resolve. We're not just informing people, but we are trying to assist people at the same time. So remember, problem statement should be involved as well. So in your introduction, information that sets the stage, sets the mood. Remember this. So in your introduction, it provides a foundation to what you are talking about. So make it interesting. Make it interesting. Unfortunately, in this type of workshop, we cannot make our presentation very interesting. However, when you guys are doing your presentation, you can make your topic very interesting. You can present it from different point of views. So that way you can actually attract the audience attention. After all, it's only 15 minutes we're talking about. Problem statement. Make the audience aware of the problem, the opportunity, or the issue, the reason behind your presentation. Why are you presenting? Why? Show the passion. The thing is the passion, and you will sustain. That is what a social business enterprise should have. And data and analysis, offer the facts, information, story, perspective, why your audience needs to make informed choices, decisions regarding the materials you covered in your problem statement. Why should they pay attention to it? How does the data analysis support? Unlike your proposal, not only should you present the numbers, but also you should explain how you come up with the numbers. Although I believe your PPT should not include all the information, but you have to have the explanation when you are talking to explain how you come up with this part. Solution statement. Lastly, solution statement offers hope and chance of success. It highlights what you're going to do. It highlights how you're going to solve the problem. So you should include what is the solving, of course, your objective and all that should include. And lastly, benefits. What are the benefits? The plan or solution. The plan, what you are trying to do, what are your priorities? What is your audience priorities? Can you solve the problem is usually your audience priorities. Think about the theory of change. Emphasize on the impact, remember. Emphasize on the impact. And then lastly, summary and motivational elements. Make repeat on your idea, repeat to conclude. It motivates them. Make action statements, prompt the audience to take action so they would proceed and choose. Not only are you going to influence them, but you want them to take action, to understand that it is a necessity that they choose your company. It is a necessity that they choose you, okay? So, okay, we are going to go to part B of the presentation. So, part B, the way of each session. The way, it really depends where your emphasis is. Is it data that is supporting you? Is it factual statements that are supporting you? Break down your presentation into a timeline. So usually how long would it take? So break down it, have a table of contents, limit the completion to 15 minutes, time yourself. How many slides do you need? Does anyone know 15 minutes, how many slides maximum can we go through? I can tell you 1 hour usually is around 30 slides. So you can estimate around 15 minutes. How many slides do you have for it? 10 maybe, okay? 10. But you have to think about, within the 10, you should be able to explain yourself at the same time as presenting. So how can you make useful of the 10 slides you have? How can you make useful of the 10 slides you have? So what you should input. So just now I gave you the structure ready, so you can look into the structure, see if that works for you. It's very straightforward. Another thing is never to talking about appropriate language. Let's move on to appropriate language. 10 slides, appropriate language. How much context can you input into one slide? What is the font required? Does anyone know how big of a font are you supposed to use? Anyone? How big of a font? Fonts should not be bigger than 24. When you project it onto the PPT, onto the screen, it's going to be enlarged, remember. When you see it in your computer, it's very small, definitely. But when you put it onto the PPT screen, if it is the content, if it is the body, it should not be larger than 24. And for your headings, usually we choose a 28, okay? 28 to a 32. We're talking about Arial or Times New Roman, one of those choices, then you can look at that size, around that size. When you are using PPT, unlike your proposal, we do not have that much time to read over it. So you have to be able to actually communicate with the audience directly, always in point form, able to absorb it, always in point form, so easy, plain English is okay. You do not need any jargons as well, and you do not need to be formal because this is a presentation. You are using verbal English to communicate. Use short points. Single word can replace many words, okay? What is effective language? Thank you for your input. In effective language, very long, okay? Or this one, we must remain aware of the competition. To remain profitable in market, we should always blah, blah, blah. It's very long. Cut it short, keep it simple, keep it to the point, okay? To stay competitive, it's important to fully understand today's electronic technologies. So, straightforward, do not need to include irrelevant things in your PPT, especially if you can explain it verbally, then keep it verbal, okay? Unless it is important, then input it into the PPT content. Okay, there are some things we will talk, just quickly skim through, and then we will have practice exercise again. So, what PowerPoint, overhead projector, handout, and notes, the three major things you can include in your presentation. The three things we can include in your presentation. So, I have talked to you guys, font size, clearly labeled as said 24, so that is the maximum and the minimum, usually, but not over 32, I believe is too big as well. So, but then when you project it onto screen, you can test it as well if possible. Use larger font 34 to 45 or different colors for the title, depending. Different color sizes, so choose the appropriate font, okay? There's so many fonts. Choose something that is easy to accept, easy to read right away, because it's 15 minutes presentation. No more than 6 to 8 words per line. Very straightforward, 6 to 8 words per line. Bullet points, use the 6 times 6 rules. So 6 times 6, 6 bullet points, 6 words per line, generally speaking. 1 thought per line, no more than 6 words, no more than 6 lines per slide. Use dark text on light background. Don't use dark backgrounds, okay? Or light text on dark background if you want to project an atmosphere. But generally speaking, if it's just words, use a light background. Don't use all caps except for titles. No capitalizing if it is not a title, okay? Graphics and details. Keep the background consistent and subtle. Don't include any patterns in your background. Use only text when using charts or graphs. Explain clearly, label the graphic, okay? Use only enough text, so not a lot of text. When you have the chart or graph on the slide, you can explain verbally where it comes from. When you're preparing your presentation notes or your cue cards, which you could have, but I don't suggest carrying cue cards because you will pay too much attention to it. Nonetheless, if you want to remember the points or you're scared you will forget about some points, you can form the important information on a cue card. Use quality clip art and use it sparingly. So use limited amount. Don't use too much. You can download it from anywhere. You can Google it and you can look it up on Microsoft Art as well. So all these places you can find the art. It should be related to the topic of the slide. Try to use the same style graphics throughout the presentation. Don't use something cartoon and the next moment is a pattern and the next moment. It should have the same style as well. And of course, it should relate to your company as well. So maybe the color you can think about, and maybe you can think about what kind of information or what kind of graphics suits the company as well. Limit the number of graphics on each slide. Check all graphics. Avoid flashy graphics. Limit the number of transitions used. As I said, transition words is not important. When you're talking about PowerPoint, limit the colors on a single screen. Do not include so many colors. When you have so many colors, it diverts the audience attention to the colors, not the reading on the screen. Bright colors make small objects and thin lines stand out. So maybe red color is one that's good, or maybe green is one that's good. Use not yellow though. Yellow is not good at all. When it's on a projector, yellow, you can't really see it from far away. And even up close, it's quite bad. So don't include yellow. Check all colors on a projection screen before the actual presentation. I've told you, yellow is not suitable, and orange as well. Shocking colors should not be included. Overhead projector. I don't know if you guys will be using an overhead projector. Any one of you will be using an overhead projector? No? Okay. Or are you guys, well, if you guys, someone will help assist them, right? Okay. So I guess the thing is, let's talk a little bit about the overhead projector. We don't need to talk about the projection screen, only how you face. You face the audience. Usually, like this setting, we have a screen over here to look at it. Even if you are talking, you can turn, come back, turn, come back and talk. That is supposed to be how you are. And generally speaking, you should know your materials well enough for you to not look at the screen. You can use pen to point to items or a laser beamer as well. Even if the projector does not work, you can still go ahead with the presentation. However, I believe it'll work. Don't worry about it. Another thing, I think we don't need this. Handouts. How many handouts or how many pages should your handouts be? How many pages should your handouts be? Are you guys going to prepare handouts? I'm not sure if you guys will prepare handouts. Try not to prepare your handouts in plenty of time. Don't prepare it just on the day of presentation, or else you'll just copy and paste the materials. The handouts, don't print your slide. Ensure your handouts reflects your presentation. Even if you print your slide, take bits and pieces, irrelevant or relevant information. Add more information, include references. Consider creating an action sheet, okay? Depending on the situation. Make your handout stand alone, okay? So only one piece of paper, okay? One piece of A4 paper. If provide white space, make your handout look professional. How can you make it look professional online or through Microsoft Word? Microsoft processors, you can do it. And consider what additional resources you need to provide the audience. So if you have the product, of course a model would be recommended or a sample would be recommended. But if you don't, it is not a necessity, but a handout would be recommended because then they can know the flow of your presentation and they can recall what things or what items you've mentioned in your presentation. Distribute the presentation, distribute the handout in the beginning of the presentation. Don't tell people if it's not in the handout. Do tell people if it's not in the handout. If it's not in the handout, they should input it into a handout if it's important, okay? But I believe all important information should be included. Okay, so now I think we will have a group activity. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of you. So one group of 4, 2 groups of 3. I think you guys have a group here already, right? So 2 groups of 3, or no, 4, 4, 2 groups of 4, 1 group of 3, yes, that should be it. Do you guys have 4, 3? Oh, we have 12. Oh, we have 12, okay. So we can have 3 groups of 4. You are going to make use of any one of the cases that you have used previously. You are going to do a marketing activity. You are going to make a visual aid to assist, a visual aid, so maybe you can think about a handout, and large size handout, to talk about your marketing approach of the case, okay? So I'll give you guys a spreadsheet. Okay. I'll give you guys a piece of paper, and then you guys can work on the marketing strategy. This time, unlike previously, you are supposed to present, each person is given 1 minute to talk about the marketing strategy. Everyone has to talk. So every one of you will participate in presenting the marketing strategy. So what kind of information should you include? Look back into the course manual and you can see what kind of information can we include. So if you guys have the information from previous group, then you can make use of the information. Think about the marketing strategy. If you are supposed to present a marketing plan, what kind of marketing plan? What kind of visual aids do you need to promote your company? Think about a motto, maybe, something to help and assist your presentation. Think about the market size, right? Who are you marketing to? You will use to market. Think about where your company stands, okay? Where your company stands in the market. And also, each person is supposed to speak for 1 minute. I will time you. I will time you. We will have a first group then. Which group is prepared? Are you guys up front? Okay. Okay, I'll have you guys come out.
Yeah, I'm the first one.
Okay. So we're going to time you. When my hand says yes, then you can start.
No, you want to.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can hold it.
okay.
You want to hold on to it. Okay. Can I start? You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Start.
Okay. We are players. I'd like to introduce a marketing plan of our portal. And our players work in this way. We we understand that everyone in the world are not lucky enough, like us here, to have time, to have money for training and for learning. And we players observe that we understand that a lot of people do not have chances to have enough training, to have enough education opportunities because they come from a poor family, they have economic problems. We observe that this problem in our society, and then we like to propose a solution to that. That is how our education service provide. We would like to send quotas to those low income and urban schools where they can, there our quotas can play games in the recess time for our education purpose. And then, our mission is to improve the health and well-being of the children by increasing opportunities for physical activity, safe and meaningful play through those games. And that is our a slogan. And we would like to promote our service to the parents and the teachers of the children. And our friends will talk about the marketing plan.
Well, let's start with the price first. Well, how much do you think you need to pay for every playing? Well, are all the people here playing? No. Yeah, give you a rough idea. Any of you are playing with PSP? Yeah, yeah. How much is PSP costing you?
1,600.
Yeah, I mean 2,000 something.
So accurate.
You're buying the real game, so you need to pay more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you go for iPhone, how much do you need to pay?
Depends on which version.
Yeah, 6,000 something plus data plan. Well, it's a whole lot. So it would be a sum up to 50,000 for 2 years. Well, it's a whole lot of money. This is for one person. This is for one person. But we are working in groups. We are playing in groups. So what you need to pay is just a humble amount, not like this, not like this, something like a fraction of an iPhone. So you can play with your classmate and all the people around you. Yeah.
Okay. So let me talk about our play strategy. Oh, as you all know, we can play wherever we want, but we don't emphasize on using the cyber or IT technology to play. We should focus on the physical platform, such as playing soccer or just dramas or whatever you want. To promote this, we want to promote in schools, in every family, in order to, even though they just have a dinner, they can also have some kind of playing inside, such as you can just pass the food to your friends or to your family, to your mama, in order to make your family happier. Also, we want to promote it in some tutorial centers and every schools, that's especially the low urban area schools, in order to enjoy the playing for our groups.
Let me talk about a little more about our slogan. Yeah. As you can see from this picture that we are promoting a few characteristics that we want your children to have. Yeah. For example, we want your kids to be well-being, to be meaningful and health, and also to play safe. As you know, a lot of children nowadays don't have the time to play enough. They just go to the school and have a lot of tutorial lessons, extracurriculum activities. So they don't, technically, they don't have the time to play enough. So that's that's the service that we are going to provide with your children, to make your children to play happily, but in a safe way, and also to help them to grow healthily and meaningfully. Thank you.
All right, finally, just like to talk about the values that drive our program. We believe in the power of play, that through playing, people can really become their true selves. You can develop your individual confidence, you can develop your character, you can learn to become more social, and you can also open up to society, right? And so in this process, you learn many life skills and also social skills. And the process or the practice that we try to involve is iterative play, constructive play, where people have to be, and also creative, developing your creativity. And finally, sorry, Han, what's the third version?
Is to relate to people.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, relating to people. And so hopefully, through going through our program, children are allowed to learn to smile more often during their day. Rather than being stressed about this and that people can genuinely develop a culture of smiling here in Hong Kong. Thank you very much.
Okay, I have questions.
Okay.
First thing, I asked you guys about the marketing plan. So I heard that you guys would be promoting tutorial centers to families in the below urban areas, is it? But what is your promotion plan? I've heard about the slogan, which is really good. The promotion plan, I want to know. How are you going to reach, and which size of sector are you going to be in reach of?
Oh, I've got an idea for, in order to promote our playgroups, we can play in a very busy area, especially in Mong Kok, the walking district. And we can just stick on some, put some games there, and even I don't know how to say the drum L-ping or something like that. The number with the numbers, or just you can play
Hopscotch.
The hopscotch and just the
beanbags.
Yeah, just a simple games in order to encourage people to play, and then we will teach them what's the meaning inside that, to enjoy and to smile more. Yeah.
And we have two different target audiences. Well, actually, the children won't pay for the program. They won't sign up for the program. It's the teacher and the parents that will sign up for the program. So we have two sets of marketing strategy to both group of target audience.
Okay, so the teachers, you talked about the teachers. Is it the teachers in school or is it the teachers in the tutorial center?
It should be the teachers in schools.
Teachers in schools?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, some comments for you guys. Who did the introduction?
Me.
Okay, introduction. Good. I like it when you said problem, solution, and mission. It was very good, very clear, very straightforward. However, you did mention about marketing strategy, which was the main point of the presentation. Okay, next one. The first body. Who talked about the first? You did, right?
The price?
No, who talked about the price?
Price.
You did, price. Okay. I think it was you. Your back was always to the audience. Although you did speak well, you explained the VSB, which was really relevant. It related to us, very relevant. However, your back was to us, which was not quite good because I cannot hear you sometimes, so you turned away a little. The next one, the second person was
The patient.
Location, section, tutorial, who the people are, right? You said all the time. I don't know if you noticed. So pay attention to that. And the third person, you were looking at the poster all the time. So when you read, refer to the things when it is necessary. As for conclusion, it was pretty good. Just missed at one point, but besides, it was good. So well done. Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Next. Okay guys, just for you guys to know, when you guys are looking at the materials, look, turn back, and then face the audience and speak. That way, the voice projection is up front. And when you do use hand movements, which I saw some hand movements involved, which was really good, so try to keep your hand movements below your head, below your chin, but above, around this area should be where your hand movement is, so the audience can see you, okay? So hand movement is used to emphasize. If you don't have a mic, then your hand movement can be here. If you have mic, then a little bit up front, around the same where your mic is, it should stop. It shouldn't go further up, okay? Okay, next group. There's, oh, sorry. I should move.
They accumulate because they got
Do you accumulate?
no, 1 minute per person.
Oh, so how many
Perhaps 2
minutes?
minutes.
2 minutes per person, is it okay?
I don't know. But we separate our presentation.
You separated your presentation.
We separate into different parts.
Okay, so you don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Yvonne and this is Michael and he's Jacko. And then we are here to represent the Knowledge Power program, KIP. And this program is actually like a national network of free and open enrollment college program. And so I think every one of us now don't really have to worry about going to college because we all are right now. And we are really comfortable right now sitting here learning everything. But in the world there are many people don't even have the chance, even they have the knowledge or they have the skills, but they don't even have the chance to get in a college. And so this program we mainly trying to solve the problem in the US and the District of Columbia, which many people don't have chance to get into college, and our program is to help them to prepare the skills and also the knowledge to get into it. And so let me have my code.
So let me talk about the marketing strategy of KIP. First of all, we all know that we cannot target the whole student market because we have to divide them into different segments and target them. And for the segmentation, we have done 2 segmentation. The first one is demographic segmentation. We target the low-income students. And for the second one, we have done a geographic segmentation, and we target in some low-income area. And these 2 are the target customer and the target student that we are going to serve. And now we pass the time to Jacko to talk about our positioning.
Thank you, Michael. Now I'll talk about positioning. The positioning is a kind of perceptions to the target population. So what does KIP try to position is that it is a kind of free program so that everybody can join, and it is open enrollment. Even you're black or whites, you can join this program. And then it is kind of public schools that can develop your knowledge and your leadership skills so that it will benefit in your career and in your college life. And this is the positions of the KIPs. So now I'll pass it to Michael to talk about the product.
Yeah, the first of 4 P is product. And the core product of our KIP program is the academic knowledge. But on top of that, we focus on the social skills. We have leadership program and some extracurricular activities for our students. They do not just focus on knowledge, but also they have to equip themselves of the social skills that they need to use in the near future. And also we hope to create a sense of commitment of our students. Because as you know that Know is Power program is a free education program. We do not have income. But the most valuable assets of us is our students. That's why we hope to create a sense of commitment of our students to hope that they can use their power to keep our KIP program in the future. And sorry.
So our promotion, like our main message will be like we are trying to tell people by numbers. For example, 85% of KIP alumni have gone to college, and also
this number will actually attract to people who is interested in joining this program. But I think the main attraction is it's free, and I think the problem we might encounter will be how to promote to people, actually reach the people, because for us, of course we have television, we have computers, we can get in touch with everything in daily life, but many people don't even have a computer or television. So that's why we are trying to promote through like leaflet, banners, which is we can reach the market better, and also is also low cost. Another low cost promotion will be through educational magazines, and also the magazines for college admission, which actually people are free, like they can go there free of charge and get them free of charge, and so people can actually reach it. And another one will be our website and also Facebook. And yeah.
Now I'll talk about the price strategies of the KIPS program. The KIPS program is using the free of charge strategy, because it's kind of program that is for the low income group, so that we will not charge them high and try to let more people to join this. And through this kind of through our dedications, I think that the government will grant some subsidies for us to run this program. And for the place part, we will have 109 KIPS schools in over 20 states. This is a kind of very strong network, because everybody understands that US is a very big country and there are a lot of people living under the poverty line. So that I think that this KIPS schools, the numerous KIPS schools can provide a very strong service to strong enough service, a very broad service for all of the poor children to join, and so that they can study in the college, receive a better education, and get rid of this poverty line. So now Michael will help us conclude.
To conclude, we all agree that education is very important these days. It is virtually a must for every one of us to have a college degree. But some of us are very unfortunate. They don't have enough money to study college, and therefore we have the KIP program. With the KIP program, they can pursue their dream to have a college degree, and therefore we should support the KIP program. And that's all. Thank you.
I have a question in regards to the promotion. You are saying that you'll be using leaflets, banners, educational magazines, college admission magazines, stuff like that. So is that going to cost a lot of money?
Maybe, but as I've just said, the most valuable access of us is our students. We hope to.
But the price is free, then how do you generate the marketing?
Maybe we just have to buy the paper, and our students help to make the leaflet. And I think the cost.
That would cost little, but what about the additional educational magazines or magazines for college admission?
In fact, we think that it is free of charge, because sometimes the magazine will contact the school to ask for the information of our school, and they will publish our information on the paper, and we think that this is free of charge.
It really depends. Educational magazines do charge people for advertisement. So when you look into it, think about the cost as well. Okay, I have some comments for you three. Three of you have been holding on to that roll of paper for so long. I wanted to take it away from you guys. I know that it started out flat. I saw it started out flat and then floating in the air, and then slowly it got rolled into like a round tube, and then started hitting the air. So I guess, yes, paper, remember, paper should not be in hand, and cue cards would be better. For the first speaker,